right, welcome back. Perhaps looking at Parliament, what's been happening in terms of nominations, in terms of the way forward, perhaps a look at some of the political parties involved in this wrangle. Today we are visited by one, that's a PNU, Party of National Unity, perhaps with a different name now. We're about to find out from the spokesperson, Mr. Moses Kuri. It's good to have you on the show. Mr.
Thank you.
I don't know where do we start. First of all, does there exist a party called PNU, or is it being is it morphing into something else?
Well, of course, there exists a party called PNU, but like all the parties are going to have dynamics as we go towards general election. PNU is going to convert, in the process of converting itself into PNU Alliance. You know, there's a party, the vertical party called PNU, with allies, KANU.
Yes.
Where, for example, I come from, with a party called ODM Kenya. And all these parties are going to coalesce themselves into the PNU Alliance. Of course, what we've been having is a rules arrangement in the sense that
this is PNU or PNU?
Yeah,
Alliance?
PNU, as a it has been existing as a coalition. So it came from PNU, the president's party, and then after the general elections of 2007, they were signed a memorandum of understanding. The first one, to create the PNU coalition, before ODM came into government, and that's what put the parties together. Then, of course, this rules arrangement, things evolve. So the thinking is that there's need to create one umbrella, one big vehicle that is going to, to bring all these parties together, so that we stop this culture of having disparate political parties and coalesce that into one political party.
Can you tell us about the structure of PNU as a party? As a party. Say, like you have an office somewhere.
Yeah.
With the structures.
Yes.
Who runs it?
Of course, there's a secretariat that runs that particular.
Can you give us the names of the people who run it?
I may not give you all the names, but at least there's an executive director called Jasper Nyaboga. So PNU has been a party that's existing. Remember also that the other political parties
You have only one person running it.
No, there is a group of officials and desks and everything.
When you have a party like ODM or KANU, it has various committees. Various as a secretariat with people and office people who sit there every day to decide on matters of policy. Like you can have a youth group, the women group, in terms of politics, the kind of structures.
Yes, of course, we have subcommittees, that are formed by, not necessarily by people who are in the day-to-day running of the party.
We are talking, those are the ones I'm talking about. Because the way I know PNU, it's just another loose. It's just a one.
Of course.
If you go there,
which has served its purpose,
which was there to elect the president, and as long as the president was elected, well and good. Are there people who are there in terms of technocrats running the party policies?
Let me say this, Mutegi, that what you are saying is partially right, that in terms of our institutional capabilities have been wanting. And that is why, we are coming up with the PNU Alliance, in order to strengthen those capabilities, in order to have parties that are run even according to the standards of Western democracies. You don't, if it's working, why fix it? So the fact that we are fixing it means that something is not really working. Yeah, so it's not a secret really. So that we have got some institutional weaknesses which we are trying to fix by moving into the PNU Alliance. And I think we've looked at ourselves in the mirror and we've taken a hard look at ourselves, seen what's wrong with us, and that's what we are fixing right now.
So when you are spokesman, you spokesman for who?
For the party.
Who would you answer to? Because you have said
in the party we have got a national executive council, we've got national governing council, and the era of people speaking for individuals is gone. Really, we've really got to move to to speak for the institution. So that when we say we are forming from PNU to PNU Alliance, I'm not saying that so-and-so is forming from PNU to PNU Alliance. And really, without even looking at this from personal levels, what we're trying to do is to build parties that can be able to survive the test of time. Because the era of saying Moses Kuria speaks for so-and-so is what has taken us where we are. But, you know, if you have an institution, it means that that whether I am here, I'm not here, even after 20 years, after 30 years, that, you know, you're going to have...
In terms of political parties being different,
precisely,
the eras of speaking for an individual has gone.
You know, ideology, political ideology, Jimmy, resides in a political party. The tool of mobilization, of political mobilization is a political party. So we find a situation whereby a person, remember before the city, you know, before the city was a very strong party. Yeah, you are
still is
in the media when Ford City was a very strong party. So one Kenneth Matiba disappears from the political scene. What happened to Ford City? It's gone. You see,
actually, it's still existing.
Yeah, it's still existing.
Let me ask you this, but Mr. Kuria, yes, political or spokesmanship ceased to exist, especially in terms of speaking for individuals.
Yeah.
And like you said, you've learned through experience that you know that those errors are gone. The mistakes that were done need to be changed. With the new PNU alliance, what structures will you put in place to make sure that no single person basically takes over a party and becomes a party? You know, you've got structures that are very strong, institutions within, or structures within your institution that will stop corruption, will stop people taking over political parties for their own agenda.
Let me say something. First of all, the way we are forming PNU Alliance is that even I am not authorized to speak for PNU Alliance until the structures are formed. But if I have to give you intelligent assessment or analysis, is that even if you look at the...
So even your position is in jeopardy?
Yeah, not jeopardy. You know, I have to seize my position once we have the PNU Alliance, because we want to have not just a semblance of fair processes, but also it has to be seen. You know, it has to be the reality that we create a structure that is not for somebody really. Remember, we have got...
so what are those structures that you will create that will...
They are still in development. You know, they are still in development, and the party had a workshop at Nanyuki, you know, 2 weeks ago. These things are evolving, and, you know, the public is going to see these structures as they evolve. But even if you look at the interim officials of this party, it's not this party is for Saitoti, or this party is for Kalonzo Musyoka, or for Uhuru Kenyatta, or who it is, you know. Remember that why even from old PNU in 2007, I was in the party secretariat, and you find that somebody misses a nomination from this party and jumps to the other party. And you really might want to blame them, but you can't blame them, because even the nomination processes within PNU were really wanting. And, you know, what you're trying to do is to say that you have got no reason whatsoever to go and look for another party, as long as you support our broad ideology.
Which? If I ask you now,
yes,
what's the broad ideology between you and the ODM?
No, our ideology, I don't know about the ODM's ideology, and I cannot speak for them. But our ideology...
You should know the difference.
You should know
yes, I can know. I might know.
The basic.
Okay, let me tell you.
Every Republican knows the difference between the Democrats.
Yes, but there can be a difference.
What is the PNU?
Let me answer what I know. What's the PNU ideology?
Yes.
PNU ideology is something called progressivism. That we believe in progress. Period. We believe in development. We believe in progress.
And
so the difference between us
and ODM doesn't.
Maybe they believe in nothing. You know, can't hold brief for them. You know.
Listen, by the way, you can come onto the show, ask a question. The number should be on your screens right now. I do remember 107-136-930. I think it still exists. Other two numbers should come onto your screens right now. Call, give a comment, ask a question. We're talking about political parties. Today we focus more on PNU, and as you've learned as we progress, PNU Alliance. Give us a clear structure in terms of your strategy for the youth and women. We see the Constitution is very, very loud about gender sensitivity. What is your strategy, you know, for the way forward for young people to take over parties and have a position of leadership? And what role do women play in the Alliance?
Let me talk about, first of all, youth involvement in politics. You know, the thing that has been stopping young people from being involved is actually lack of transparent processes, opaqueness that tends to shove them aside and to elbow them aside and stop them from participating in the political systems. So the kind of systems that we're going to create are the ones that enable anybody who feels, you know,